Okay, I just wanted to record this video just to bring awareness to it, so they hopefully will fix this, because it's getting to the point where it's almost making my playthrough unplayable. So I can't imagine that I'm the only one. So as you can tell, not a big fan of trains, much prefer belts. Been running a lot of belts. So the biggest thing I've noticed is lag when placing belts. Now I've noticed a few things, and that is I have my shadows set too low. Can't go any lower. And I just noticed this morning. The Mark 1 belt, Mark 2 belt, and Mark 3 belt all do not have shadows underneath them. They don't cast a shadow. The Mark 4 belt, the Mark 5 belt, and the Mark 6 belt all cast shadows. So my previous fix with toggling it, all that does is remove the shadow underneath these conveyor belts. So if you're having lag when placing belts, or you start to get lag, this fix will fix it. But as you progress throughout the game and you get more things, even that fix will no longer help, and that's what I'm running into. So you'll notice these three have shadows. If I go into the options and I turn my video settings on shadows up to medium and I apply it, now all the conveyor belts have shadows. Now if I go into the options and turn it back down to low and apply it, now none of the conveyor belts have shadows. So that's why you're getting such a big performance increase when you toggle the shadows up and down, because now your conveyor belts don't cast any shadows. But like I said, that isn't going to fix it. It will initially, and as you progress and you continue to build, if you never get to Mark 6 belts, then this won't have any impact on you either, because as far as I can tell, there is absolutely no issue with the Mark 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 belts. So that leads me to believe that the only issue is with the Mark 6, because it has some sort of transparency, and or the extra lighting is harder for the game to render. I loaded in a mod that converted the Mark 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 belts to the same model as the Mark 6, and I was getting the exact same lag as I experienced with Mark 6 belts. So for example, if I have this Mark 1 belt and I want to upgrade it to a Mark 2 belt, you can just upgrade like that. Absolutely no problem. You can go back down to Mark 1. Absolutely no lag whatsoever. Mark 2 belts, you can upgrade completely smooth, no issues. The issue arises, or even Mark 5 belts. I'm gonna upgrade all these to Mark 5. Perfect. Smooth, exactly what I would expect. Oh, we got autosave. The issue arises when you start getting into Mark 6 belts. Now watch the game when you go to upgrade this belt to a Mark 6 belt. Non-stop, just lag. It's especially noticeable when you're trying to build two belts connected to one another. There's like three very noticeable hitches, and you don't have that at all when you're building the Mark 5 belts or the Mark 1 belts or the Mark 2 belts or the Mark 3, and no matter any of the belts, it doesn't have any lag. So coffee stain, for the love of everything, please, since you didn't acknowledge it at all in the current patch notes, which is extremely unfortunate and very I'm so frustrated with it, because it is the number one thing that's posted on your supposed, oh, you have any issues posted on the QA site. It is the number one thing that is posted, and is posted multiple times about build lag, not just specifically related to conveyor belts, but conveyor belts are most definitely the worst offender. and there was absolutely not even a mention that this issue was even a thing. Granted, it doesn't start showing its head until you start getting into really big saves, and I guess the majority of the population isn't building very big, so they don't notice it. But the fact that they didn't even acknowledge it is pretty disheartening. So I would hope they would just, I don't know, in the meantime, while they try and fix it, one, make low shadows not cast conveyor belts so I don't need to toggle it every time I open it, and change the model on the MK6 belt so that way we can continue to play the game. I've had to resort at this time to placing everything with Mark 5 conveyor belts, and then at the end of my play session go into the world editor and edit all my belts to then be Mark 6, because I can't even play the game placing Mark 6 belts. Extremely frustrating, but hopefully this brings some light. It probably won't. They probably don't care. They probably won't see this, but I'm hoping they do. But again, if you're on Mark 1 through 5 belts and you're experiencing lag, I almost guarantee you that it's caused by the shadows. So what you need to do every time you launch the game, you need to toggle up to medium, toggle back down to low. This will fix it, but again, you will get to a point in your save, if you get a really big save, where even that fix will not work for Mark 6 belts and it will start to lag. And that's probably the time you just kind of wrap it up and quit your save, because it's not really worth playing with the lag like that. Maybe people will say that I'm being a diva, but it is extremely frustrating. I don't want to sit there and lag for 3 seconds every time I connect a belt, especially when I'm doing thousands and thousands and thousands of belts. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, hopefully this gets fixed.